Thank you, Ainsley. Well, for weeks now, protests across the country have ratcheted up racial tensions and driven a wedge between the American people and the officers tasked to serve them. So is the brutal attack we saw on two NYPD officers a result of these escalating demonstrations? Joining us now, attorney Misty Marris and attorney Remy Spencer. Nice to see both of you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Do you think that this violence is as a result of these political leaders coming out and ratcheting up this tension? Misty?
Certainly there is an issue with that, because if somebody unbalanced hears some of these comments, they can take it as a call for violence. And that's not what needs to be emphasized at this time. We can't blame the mayor for these murders, but we can talk about all this commentary that's fueled the fire that needs to be quelled. The mayor really needs to come out with a strong stance now, pro-police, and that violence is never an option and is completely unacceptable.
Will it be disingenuous, though? Mayor at the podium before talking about the police violence in this city. Mayor Giuliani earlier on our show says he has a real opportunity here to speak to the community and to talk about, talk about correcting the course of action that he's led us down.
Yes, and I watched Mayor Giuliani on your show just a few minutes ago, and I think he was spot on. He was accurate. This is an opportunity for the current mayor. He needs to pivot. He needs to shift his focus. To answer your question, I hope it's not disingenuous. We can not blame the mayor, as Misty said, for the shootings, but we can blame him for his failure to lead in the days following these other cases. He should have limited the protests. He should have managed the crisis in a way that would be the way Mayor Giuliani would have done it. He would have required permits. He would have required people going to courts. He wouldn't have closed bridges, disrupting everybody's lives. That sort of fans the flames for an outrage that's really not what this is about. Whether the grand jury system needs to be reworked is a legal question. People need to be educated about it. But nobody, under any circumstances, would say that these cases are the cause for, or should be the cause for, any further violence.
And what I think we need to remember is these police officers are people too. They've now, the week of Christmas, their families have lost them. I mean, this is not, we have two names now that people can relate to. There's no reason for this type of violent outbreak.
You bring up a great point. I mean, are they undermined? We saw them turning their backs on the mayor as he's walking into this press conference. How, and we had Steve Rogers on the show earlier this morning, who's worried. He's worried now that police officers will say, I'm not going to go and work overtime in a harsh community like Bed-Stuy on, that's not even the area I normally serve, but you're calling upon me to go into an area right before Christmas, worried about my pension, worried about my family. Will I be able to come home and help and live with my family after this?
No, and you're absolutely right. And of course they're concerned. And that's why there needs to be an extraordinary step on the part of the mayor and the government to say, listen, we support you and we're going to do what we can to make your job as safe as it can possibly be while you fulfill the duty that you chose to do, your civic duty to protect the people of the city of New York.
You remember when Mayor Giuliani first came into office, what he did with respect to the police officers? He gave them new uniforms. He fostered a community and a sense of respect and trust with our police officers. Mayor de Blasio has done the opposite in light of these criminal cases that have been in the press. It is his time now, and it is his obligation, in my opinion,
absolutely,
to foster the relationship and make it a positive one so that people don't feel the need to do something like this.
Remy and Misty, great to see you this morning. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.